So, not too long ago, I was walking in downtown Dallas, and there was this church, and it was in the summertime, and they were having a baptism outside, and it was in a parking lot, but they'd set up this big pool, and they were baptizing people one by one, and it was out in downtown, you know, uh, just walking down the sidewalk. This whole thing was going on, pretty close to me, and I was walking by, and I just looked over at it, and there was this girl, maybe 10 or 11. She'd just been baptized, and she had someone have it with their hand on her head, and had her hands clasped like that, and her face was all scrunched up, and she was praying really hard. And I knew that she was experiencing maybe one of the most profound, important moments of her life. You know, her understanding was is that what they had just done, the baptism, the washing of, and of course, being raised Catholic, we baptize infants, so I don't remember my baptism at all. But you in most churches, you most Protestant churches, you get baptized, later on. You decide to, you commit your it's, and it's a moment of, you know, it's a very very important moment for you because it feels like you're um officially, having your sins washed away, and you're officially committing yourself to God, and you're officially His now. Like, that's the idea, right? That's what baptism is about. That's why you do it. And of course, I've said many times, I don't believe in the efficacy or the reality of these things anymore, but I 100% believe in the reality of that little girl's of the experience she was having of that moment. How special that must have been. And I remember so many moments like that where, especially for me with my um, very anxious mind and my very anxious brain, that peace, the peace that you get in those moments of connection, of unity, of feeling, uh, you know, like the creator of the universe, like the person the entity in charge of everything, is united with you right now, is communicating with you, and most importantly, loves you. If you really, really take that idea in and really, really accept it and believe it, I can't think of anything more powerful and more beautiful and more good, because we all want that. We all need that. There is whenever we talk about home, there's obviously our hometown, the place we grew up, the place we're from, but home is wherever we feel the most safe. Our safe space to land. We all need some kind of safe space. That term, of course, gets mocked and made fun of a lot, but if you had no safe space? Just imagine a life with no safe spaces whatsoever. There was nowhere you could look around and feel like there was anywhere you could go and have safety and be secure there. That's not sustainable, and nobody truly lives that way. But I also need, in my own personal way, I need to have an integrity. I can't go. I just seriously can't go along with any sort of belief system or structure, if I see that purports to do something or be something that I feel it's not truly doing. And no matter how good that that experience, that feeling of unity is, I still think it obviously has to be connected to reality. However, my belief, um, that church I passed by, I have no intention, as far as I know about them, of doing any kind of like activism or speaking out against anything they're doing, because it's not like, I believe that they're, completely operating from a legitimate basis in terms of the Bible being true and all that, but their purpose, their goal is to provide that community, to provide that anchor, to help, to truly give, to give that security, that comfort, that cosmic comfort, what that little girl had in that moment right after she got baptized, that I saw. Any group or entity that gives that to people, um, whether or not, there's any reality to it, if there is nothing, you know, if that's all that they're doing, if that's what they are trying to be, is truly be that safe space, I have no quarrel with them, and I couldn't even say 100%, because again, I'm an agnostic. Agnostic just means I don't know. I can't look at these other churches and say, and even mainstream Catholic churches as well, I can't look at them and say that they're um, hurting people systemically, or built in to everything they do is something rotten and corrupt. But that is the case with traditional Catholicism, and it's the case with every cult, because cults are um, are taking that effort, that effort to ground people, that effort to give people that cosmic comfort. That if it's based on an illusion, fine. I think of it in the same way as like Star Wars and Star Trek. I go to Comic Cons, and fans of those things, and of course, and things like comic books and anime and all that. The fandoms get so intense, nearly to the degree of a religious fervor. But of course, there's still the understanding of this is all pretended make believe. But it's so compelling that it draws people in to a degree where it's as if it's like the real world they're living in. And yeah, sometimes you can get a little bit of confusion there, but that's not the case with these churches. There's very much a presentation of this is real, but there's still a respect for, the welfare and beliefs of others, which is not the case in cults. They have a militant mission to reshape society in their image. So, what am I getting at here? I want that back, but that purpose back, that meaning back, the security back. But I want to feel, I want to have personal integrity at the same time. I want to feel like I'm part. If I'm going to join any kind of movement or group or organization, that I have to um, truly believe in it, and truly believe in everything they say, because I am only willing to present people this kind of, vision of meaning, of what God is, of what He wants, if there even is one. I again am not pretending as an agnostic to be able to come up with a solution what you for getting what you lose when you leave high control groups and cults like that, which do give you a very intense framework and system of meaning and everything. They really plug you in, but you're plugged into something that's ultimately dangerous and harmful, that you're somewhat blinding yourself to. But many churches won't operate like that. That's why I've resisted, leaving the faith and becoming agnostic. I've resisted going full atheist, full anti-religion, because that's not what I believe in. I don't believe religion is bad. I just think that it's a good endeavor. It's a good mission. It's a good focus. But I just think we're just not equipped as humans to have, with the same kind of certainty we need with things like with everything else in our life, with the certainty the scientific method gives us. We just can't um, you, you know it's the eternal struggle, right? The man's search for meaning is it's what we've been doing until the end of time. And certain groups, like these high control groups, like these cults and stuff, purportedly answer these questions, but their motive is not um their motive is not peace. Their motive is domination. And that's where we get into the problem. So for anyone out there who has lost their faith like I have, or is searching in some way, or searching for that grounding piece, that ultimate meaning, I just wanted to recite something I've written, if you don't mind. back when I was still a believer, I'm an actor and a writer, and back when I was still a believer, I would sometimes write my own prayers. Like I wrote a prayer for mental health. And this is something I've written, which is titled An Agnostic Prayer. Because as an agnostic, I am an agnostic simply because that's how I see the world. I see the world as one big question. I think all of humanity, the question, it's hard to live in that state of uncertainty. It's super hard, but it's at the moment for me, I wouldn't, I would be lying if I said I saw it any other way. I want that certainty. I want that anchor, but I don't want it at the cost of other people's well-being. And so this is something I've written that, you know, take it or leave it. I just want to sort of convey, I guess, my viewpoints here. And this is meant to be a much more this is meant to have a much more positive sort of angle and spin on it than a lot of my other Dragons of Victory videos, because those are, you know, pointing to a problem and not really presenting a solution in terms of solving like the search. I'm pointing out a problem and saying this group is bad. They do bad things and they believe crazy things and they destroy people's psychological and mental well-being. And you should leave them. That's the message of Dragons of Victory. But what then? You know, what do I do with you? You you're invariably going to be left with a void that you want to fill, and that's going to pan out differently for everybody. And so I guess this is just meant to bring you guys up to speed on my current state in this journey of discovery and this searching for meaning. So here we go. This is called an agnostic prayer. I send my voice to the stars. I call out in this lonely pit. I sit alone in a deep hole, and I look up and ask to be listened to. I'm a soldier of peace, but I don't know who to fight. And I'm a warrior of wisdom, but my general is a ghost. Does peace on earth need a fight to the death? Is there a promised land? There was an answer. Now there is a question. There was light, and now there is darkness. But I think, therefore I am adrift. I've been so long at sea, I no longer believe in the promise of land. I was told knowledge is power, but I discovered knowledge is nowhere. Power is the grand illusion. We can fly up to the stars, we can never bring them down to us. I send my voice to the cosmic question. If my voice will never reach the stars, is there any reason to reach my hand to them? If I ask another question, will it be as meaningless as the one I asked before? I do not know if the question is a man. I do not know if the question is a woman. I do not know if the question is the walrus. But if the question can hear me, I beg it to answer itself. I am one voice and I am every voice. Every voice has called you many things, but I call you the question because you are the answer. And we are desperate for the answer. We are starving for the answer. We crawl through this desert with the beautiful illusion in front of us. Without the illusion, we would never know there was more than the desert. This is my prayer and my prayer for all humanity, that the question is answered. If you are like us, befriend us. If you are not like us, then my words are wasted. In the core of my soul, I believe you are within us. You are around us. You are us. All I wish to know is if you are the other or if you are all of us. I will continue whether you are there or not. I will survive whether you are there or not, and I will die, and I will be remembered whether you are there or not. And if the question lives on with my memory, my prayer will have been answered. This I pray, truly, let it be so. Thank you. I hope you fly away to victory.